I actually, wait for it, actually started my business with 100 Ghana cedis plus a skill that was worth 3,500 cedis and then above at that time. I don't, it doesn't matter which country you are coming from, but when you are coming, I'm able to collect your money and give you value for your money. So for me, I think my skill also helped me like tap into that as well. Africa has like so many diverse origin when it comes to creativity and design. And I feel like a lot of people in the world need to see that. So for me, I wanted to use Quemsa Afrique as a yardstick to show people, okay, hello. Come, look at this. Yeah, so yeah.
Was there a point where maybe you wanted to just pretend?
Oh God, I've quitted plenty times. I've given up plenty times, but I have a personal mantra. It's okay to give up, but don't give up for too long. And it's good to fall down, but stand up. Yeah. So if I give up, I'm like, okay, I'm giving up for the next 3 days. I'll see you next time.
So what are some of the opportunities you think young Africans are missing?
I feel like most times we underrate the opportunities that like needed in our environment. And we're like, we want to see what's out there.
All right. Hello, Quemsa Afrique.
Hi, you skipped my name.
I'll call you Queen. Quemsa Afrique, you're welcome.
Okay, I like that. Thank you for welcoming me.
Yeah, okay. So officially you're called Queen, but you own a brand called Quemsa Afrique. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hello, beautiful people. My name is Queen Marjana. Usually, I have to give people like fufu or jollof rice before they learn to call my name. But it's like you want to say the name Morgana, and you're like, instead of saying Morgana, you say Marjana. And I'm the founder of Quemsa Afrique, and I'm a jewelry designer. Okay. Yes. It's a little bit about it.
Is the name Ghanaian? Because it doesn't really sound Ghanaian.
It is Ghanaian, actually. I would say it's more like, I think my parents are like very semantic people. They get names based on like maybe your birth story or like what kind of face they were at a particular point. And for me, I got my name because of my birthday. It took my parents 10 years to have me. And when my mom was pregnant, she didn't know she was pregnant. She was like, far gone. So my father said I arrived like a queen, unannounced, based on my own terms. So I got the name because of the meaning, but it's not like originally like a Ghanaian name.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. That's a nice story, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So how did you come up with the name Quemsa Afrique? Is it because Quem?
I thought you were going to say ice cream.
Yeah, so what's the story behind Quemsa Afrique and how you started? Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I had a few older siblings. So I think when we were growing up, having a nickname was like a thing. So if your name is Thomas, your nickname would be Tomaxi or something. There was this ZZZ thing trending those days. Yeah. If you are Zainab, then you are Zainabzi or Zainabek. So I didn't want to have that kind of nickname. I wanted a unique nickname. So I started with my sister and I was trying to like get a nickname. Just like Queen, Marjana, Salifu, Ata, Quemsa. So I'm like, that's it. So it's actually an abbreviation of all my names. And in high school, that's what everybody knew me with. Like people knew me as Quemsa. So I figured that if I wanted to start a brand, let me just probably start with something that people already knew me with, which was Quemsa. Yeah. And the Afrique came because I wanted it to be Quemsa Africa at first. Then I was like, let me just make it Afrique. Africa, everyone's like something Africa. And I also wanted the Afrique to kind of like bridge the French-speaking African countries that like people don't often talk about if you're coming from an English-speaking or other language-speaking African countries. So yeah.
Okay, that's nice. So I think you have to help me name my channel. Not actually name the channel, but name the podcast because currently I'm using the name Nunyakla as the name of my channel, but I want to create a separate name because I talk about startups, founders, business, and all of that. I want to create a separate name for that, so I'll come to you for consultation.
Okay, come with the money.
Anyway, so when was the moment where you realized you had to start the business Quemsa Afrique?
Okay, so for me, honestly, I think COVID was like the break point for me because during COVID, it was like lockdown. I had like a tech job. I was also freelancing and other tech things. Like I was managing teams, doing Agile and Scrum. Okay. But because of the COVID, I was working from home and I only had to go to work twice a week. So I had a lot of time. And I like asked myself that like, if COVID was like continue for like 10 years, like what would I want to wake up every day to? Like I needed something like an outlet. And for me, creativity was like the answer, honestly. Yeah. So yeah, I think COVID was like that moment. And I know a lot of people, COVID was like almost like their moment even though a lot of businesses suffered during COVID as well. So
Yeah, I should have started my podcast during COVID.
Oh.
Or before, just slightly before COVID, because I would have gotten a lot of viewers. People will be in the house and don't know what to be watching, and then they'll just click on my channel.
I mean, like the old saying goes, it's better late than never. You never know.
Yeah. Okay, so getting when people want to start a business, they are mostly concerned about capital, the money to start a business, and that is one roadblock for people. So how did you start your business? How much money did you invest into it? Yeah.
You reminded me of the people that said they started their business with 1 cedi. So I feel like if I say how much I started my business, people are going to roast me. But
this is your 1 cedi story.
I actually, wait for it, actually started my business with 100 Ghana cedis plus a skill that was worth 3,500 cedis and then above at that time.
Okay.
So it wasn't just the 100 cedis, it was 100 cedis plus the skills that I had. Because when I started my business, I already was designing jewelries for myself for like a very long time.
Yeah.
But I think I honestly had a lot of imposter syndrome to start. So it was like, I'll just mention it somehow. So I think the 100 cedis was to get like pliers, the sets, and I started with like sustainable materials around me. And then I used like my tech skills like email marketing, email segmentation, how to like even make sure that I'm able to access clients regardless of wherever they are coming from. Because even though I started my business very early, I didn't play with my money. So I don't, it doesn't matter which country you are coming from, but when you're coming, I'm able to collect your money and give you value for your money. So for me, I think my skill also helped me like tap into that as well. So yeah, I'd say 100 cedis plus skill set.
Oh, okay. That's very cool. Yeah. So you mentioned pliers and creativity. Do you actually design the jewelry yourself? Mm-hmm. You do that yourself?
I do that
from scratch.
I do that from scratch. So the thing is, when it comes to like jewelries, there are lots of like different areas and segmentation that goes into it. So the first part would probably be the sketches, and for me, I mean, I do sketches, but I feel like when I do a prototype, that's where my superpower is. I'm able to like visualize.
Yeah.
I visualize with sketch, but I always feel like my sketch is not enough representation of what is in my head until a prototype is done. But however, for you to also be realistic with business, you can't keep doing every single thing by yourself. You're just going to burn out, right?
Yeah.
So I think the prototype for me is like what I'm always focused on. And then right now I just have like 2 people in my team. And then we try to like make more of the prototype. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So as far as I can remember, your jewelry is only for women or it's for both?
It's mixed. Come on.
It's mixed. Okay. So I was asking that because my sisters, my mom, my friends, like they all use jewelry from maybe let's say known brands, right?
Okay.
And yours is particular to Africa, if I'm correct, right? How hard was it getting your first customer, especially convincing someone that don't go with the popular brands, but use or buy something from Quemsa Afrique, because your products are quite unique. Yeah.
Okay, so for me, honestly, even though in the beginning my motivation to start Quemsa Afrique started from like my experiences, and from other African countries that I was privileged to stay in aside my original countries.
Yeah.
I would say that for me, my goal with Quemsa Afrique is simple. Like, I want to unite people to the African heritage through sustainable fashion. And when I'm talking about fashion, it doesn't really matter if those people are from Africa or not.
Yeah.
If they appreciate, because Africa has like so much broad things when it comes to texture, design, illustration, even architecture. Like, Africa has like so many diverse origin when it comes to creativity and design. And I feel like a lot of people in the world need to see that. So for me, I wanted to use Quemsa Afrique as a yardstick to show people, okay, hello. Come, look at this. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. Was it difficult? No. So
getting the first clients, I would say don't underrate your contact list, no matter how unreasonable you think it is. Because for me, when I started, it was mostly like WhatsApp. And I was like, talking to people about it. And it was very difficult because even though like normally I'm a good conversationist, but going to tell somebody, give me your money, let me give you value is like a different level, so it was difficult for me to have to tell people that, you have to pay for this, so it was difficult. But I think, quite honestly, I did have a very supportive friend at that time. She was also like a YouTuber, Aisha K. And so she would be like, she was like motivating me. She would, at some point, it was almost felt like she was the owner of the business. So I think I got my first clients around actually my neighborhood. And there was a funny story to that. another business lesson I learned. So when I got my first clients, I started making money. I remember that I made sales or something around maybe 150 cedis. And then this lady came to me and she was like, oh, Queen, please borrow me money. I'm going to give you in the evening. Until then, this lady has never paid that money.
Wow.
And so it taught me a very vital business lesson that, I mean, it's good to do charity or whatever with your personal money, but you need to be more disciplined with your business money.
Yeah.
Because if you treat that money like your personal money to some extent, when you have problems, you just have to figure out how to clear your mess. So, yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me. So, you hear a lot that support your friend's business and all of that. Even in line with what you're saying, people expect you to reduce your prices because they are just your friends or something. I mean, just support the person, like pay the actual price for what they are doing.
Right.
Yeah. So you should be the first point. Your friend should actually be the first point of contact to give you the amount of money that's like corresponds to the value of what they are giving to them. Anyway, so you posted a video about being shameless. Right, being shameless. I saw that on your WhatsApp status, and I think that's also one barrier for people, especially when it comes to content creation and then talking about their business and what they do. They don't want to put themselves out there. So, what motivated you to create? I don't know. I just wanted to repeat that thing of being shameless and let people learn up from it.
I think for me, I really admire shameless people because, I mean, people have different perspective about shameless people. They feel like they're doing weird things, they're doing cringe things. But they're getting views, they're making impact with what they're doing. And that's really inspiring because at the end of the day, we all want to succeed. But shame is like a very huge barrier that like kind of like prevents people from actually reaching what they want. And I think that when I say shameless, I don't mean like reckless, like doing stupid things, but like really believing in what you want to do and really going for it. I remembered when I was about 19 years old, I declared a disgrace period of my life for 5 years. I told myself that the next 5 years, I'm going to try new things. I'm going to explore. Even though people are going to say you look weird, I'm just going to do it because I want to do it. And for me, I think 1 year after I declared that disgrace period of my life was actually when I actually started Quemsa Afrique real, because I was like, you know what could go wrong? Like, even if I fail, I'll just have to start again and do something else. So for me, I think it's important for every adult, not even just, it shouldn't even have a duration. Like a disgrace period is something that you should be, something that should not end. Like you should be unapologetic to really explore, like do what you want to do, I think.
Yeah, that's true. You reminded me of when I started creating my videos. Charlie, that period was tough. I mean, I can do a recording and I don't want to post it because I feel that I'm being cringe or like
it wasn't perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't
you're
perfect.
Not posh.
Yeah, exactly. So I would like redo and reshoot. Yeah, but it got to a point I was just like, Charlie, let me just post this. Like it doesn't matter what people say or what, like it's my own thing, right? And I know the reason why I was doing that, so I just decided to do it. And looking back, I think I'm getting better at it, right? Looking at my current videos, they are much better than when I started. Yeah. Anyway,
you've actually improved, and good luck on that. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your growth, actually. So.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So when you decided to start Quemsa Afrique, did you get any support from your family, your friends around you? Like, what was the reaction like?
Quite honest, even though our family is the rock of every person, for me, I would say it was 50-50. I think I come from a very creative family. Like in my family, if you're creative, it's like normal. My dad is a doctor, but he carves wood. I grew up seeing my dad carving wood and sending them to the orphanage if they're a lot. I grew up seeing my mom service air conditioning in the house.
Wow.
My older sister is a sculptor and a painter, so like she does artwork. So in my house, having skill is like regular. But the question is, can your skill or can your passion pay for your bills? That was I think that was majority of people's concern in my family. If my creativity could pay my bills, they're like, oh my God, it's nice to do this for fun, but can this pay your bills? If your light goes off, can this buy you prepaid? So I think that was it. So 50-50. And I think at that time, and I think this is something that really happens to a lot of people when you're starting something, the truth of the matter is that people will not really see what you see until you prove it to them that they need to believe in you. And it happened to me with my favorite uncle. My favorite uncle said, oh, Queen, you're so smart, you can talk. Why don't you sell properties, do real estate? This is earrings. How many earrings do you have to sell before you go to even take a trip to Togo or Benin Republic? And I was like, what kind of comment is this? And just about 1 year ago, he called me on WhatsApp, video call. Queen, I'm so proud of you. I'm like, wait a minute, what is happening? Like, when did we switch? And I'm like, but you said I should do something else. And he's like, no, there's a different kind of feeling that comes from when you do something you like. I'm like, So that's it. So I think that for me, it was 50-50. But now, hey, my family members are like rooting for me. Like people, my close people are really rooting for me. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's crazy that like even when I post on social media, like my families are like the first people to like react to my post. I'm like, how did we get there? This is good. So it means that I literally had to show them why they should believe in me. Yeah. And it's not even just about family. I think in general, like it's almost like if you're working in a company, you need to prove yourself before you earn a promotion. So if you don't prove yourself, nobody's going to believe that you have what it takes to be the next thing. So yeah.
Yeah. So have you created a product that has flopped before? It didn't go as you expected?
Of course. Of course, I've done that. And I take a flopped product as a feedback from customer.
Okay.
So if you make a product and you thought that, okay, I want to create this product for people who like bold statement jewelry pieces. I want to create this for minimalists. And the product as in so it means that you didn't think well for people. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes when I have like a flopped product, I like to do research or like to do survey. And as a matter of fact, when I was doing my master's in international business, I used Quemsa Afrique as a case study. I did survey from like original customers to find out what, if for people who said they like bold pieces, what is your definition of bold? Yeah. And then from that survey, I found out that there were people who like bold things for weekend, and there were people who like bold things they could wear like in the corporate world. So I think when you have flopped products, it's very important for you to do a survey, and you can just add a little bit of incentives to the survey so people can give you feedback, and then you know what to do next time. But I think flop products will always happen. I mean, you don't, even if you release 6 different collections, not all of them is going to thrive. So.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a couple of products that even big companies have done that have completely flopped.
Yeah, exactly.
But was there a point where maybe you wanted to just quit and...
Oh God, I've quitted plenty times. Like, let me tell you something. Like, I remember, like, in the first 2, 3, or 4 years of Quemsa Afrique, like, I used to quit, like, almost every 2 months. I would quit, and I'll be like, nah, I think I should just use this as my hobby. And then I used to have a friend who would be like, Quemsa Afrique is actually a big thing. That person was actually MFI. She'd be like, Quemsa Afrique is really a big thing. Like, I don't know why you're not seeing what I'm seeing. I'm like, nah, I need to take a break to help my mental health. And so I think, yeah, I've given up plenty times, but I have a personal mantra. It's okay to give up, but don't give up for too long. And it's good to fall down, but stand up. Yeah. So if I give up, I'm like, okay, I'm giving up for the next 3 days. I'll see you next time. So
yeah. And I really like what you do because it's really, really unique. And you're not really in competition with anyone. So that's like your selling point, because all the customers are going to come to you when they need something unique that comes from Africa. So it's a very good product. Anyway, so before we continue, I just want to ask you guys to hit the subscribe button, like the video, and also share it to your friends. And also, I'm going to start a new segment in this, and this is starting from today. So if you have a business that you want to share to the world, you want to market it and want to talk about, you can do this. So I'm going to be creating these portions in my video where you get to talk about your business. So for the start, we are going to start with where I'm currently recording this video. So this is Shah Studios. If you are into podcast making, you make videos on social media, and you want a space to record, you can come here, Shah Studios, and record your videos. I'm going to leave their details in the description below, so you can take a look at that. All right. So say you are going to start, or you are supposed to start Quemsa Afrique from scratch. What are some of the things that you are going to do differently?
I'll say the first thing I would do is to build my personal brand.
Okay, your personal brand.
Yes, because when you have a personal brand and people understand the kind of things you like, what your interest is, they understand how you do your things, and you start a business, it's easy for people, or it's easy for you to like kind of move people from your personal brand into your business. Yeah. Right. So I think building a personal brand, like being true to yourself, like building that brand that like speaks for you as a person. Yeah. People can like kind of associate your brand to you. I think for personal brand first. And then aside that, I would focus on building a community, even though I wasn't really ready to start a product or like launch a product. So for example, like I mentioned earlier on that I had a lot of imposter syndrome when I wanted to start my business. Yeah. Now that I know, I don't think it was a bad thing not to have shared with people, to kind of like showcase that genuine pathway that it took me for me to get to like launching Quemsa Afrique. I think being genuine with my community members and building a community. Yeah, so I think those are the two things I'll do differently. But the fact that I added tech to my business early, that was a good thing for me. So yeah.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So say Ronaldo wants, I mean, he has some businesses. If Ronaldo wants to start a business now, it will be very much easier for him because like people already know him, like they relate with him. So 100%. It will be, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are some of the opportunities you think young Africans are missing or are just letting go? Yeah.
Honestly, if you look at the average population of employment in Africa, it's very low. A lot of our parents, uncles, aunties did entrepreneurship of some sort in their own ways. Like even if your parents are selling tomatoes, they have a fashion design shop or they're tailors, seamstresses, caterers. I feel like most times we underrate the opportunities that like immediate in our environment and we're like, we want to see what's out there. And if you look at like most of the big companies that you know today, especially the ones that have like span over 4 or 5 generations, each generation actually like strengthens something that the initial generation did. And I think that's the beauty of business, the fact that you can keep growing. So I think young people should look around them and think about how they can add whatever education they have to actually maximize the profits margin, branding of whatever business of their immediate family members have. Like it would save you because imagine if your mom has a watchy joint and she's been doing that for 20 years. She already has people who don't even know her on social media who know that this is a watching joint that if I come to Ghana or if I'm in this area I want to buy. I know people who would go all the way to Newtown to go and buy watching and cocoa. Why? Because of how good it is. So if you come from such kind of family, why don't you think of how you can actually elevate that watching brand it like make it very, very like good, and you can even do your FDA process, like make it really, really standardized so like it's easy for you to actually reach more clients. So I think that would be that, because a lot of Indians do that. A lot of Indians have businesses and they pick up their parents' business and it goes off the roof. So
I think the problem is that we grew up in a system where we kind of praise jobs that you have to go to the office, wear a suit, be a doctor, be a lawyer. So like that's one of the problems, right? So instead of maybe your parents has like a very good business that is growing and you can improve on it and make it better, but because you want to go into this kind of office jobs, you wouldn't want to do something like that.
And if you want to wear your suit and ties, you can still create an office and be wearing your suit and ties in front of the office. Put air conditioning. You are still in your office.
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who is watching this and wants to start their business?
I would say if I were to be in their shoes, the advice is like a very strong word, but if I were to be in somebody's shoes, I would say that I would be humble enough to like learn. First of all, learn a skill. Be humble enough to learn a skill, and then be brave to actually start it. Because no matter some people have done 100 courses on Coursera, and they haven't done anything with it. Some people have just learned one course and they've improved. And same as skills, there are some people, I know people who are like jumping from one handwork to another handwork. Today they are learning tailoring. Tomorrow they are doing shoemaking. Next tomorrow is bag making. They don't even have anything from what they've done. So I think if once you are learning, you should really be brave enough to start, because it takes a lot to just want to start. So you should start. And then I would say like my usual thing, be shameless to keep going, because then you're not overthinking too much, even though you cannot stop it. But to some extent, you are like putting yourself out there and trying your best to like push whatever you believe in. And the funny thing about life is, no matter how beautiful your dream is, if you don't pitch the value of your dreams to people, people would not believe in you. In fact, to get to a point that even people who once believed in you will start doubting you. So it's your job to like put yourself out there and let people know the kind of value you provide, so eventually they can believe in whatever thing you want to do and they can support you moving forward.
Okay. Yeah, so the last time you posted a video and I saw Woody Maya in your video, how did you get to meet him?
Oh, by the way, Woody Maya is actually a very big fan of Quemsa Afrique. Okay. And he's somebody that I had admired for like a long time. I loved his ideas about trying to like throw more light about African countries. I think one of the things that he pushes for is like a borderless Africa. So, and that's something I also stand for. Like, why should I be in a country and you're telling me that I can't enter because I don't have a visa?
Yeah.
Like, that's really hard because all these boundaries were made by people, by human beings, and they can be unmade by human beings as well. So yeah, and I also like how he likes and I like how he like focuses too on the African diaspora, the Caribbean. I'm like, he's looking at like different African people from like different parts of the world, regardless of what you've transitioned into. And I think for me, I kind of like that about Wodimaya. And that goal is also similar to what we are trying to do at Quemsa Afrique, which is to obviously like unite people to the African heritage, enable people to like explore and things like that. And so I met him in one of the Caribbean events I like to go to. So I met him and he's like, oh, I like your pieces. And then like, I mean, we made a video. And then recently, I think just last weekend, I met him again.
Yeah.
And he was asking like, why are you everywhere the Caribbeans are? And I'm like, and I'm like, because somehow our feet intertwine with each other. So yeah, that's it with Wodimaya. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I'd like to interview him sometime.
Okay.
You connect us?
Let's see. Hey, Wodimaya, if you are seeing this, so Nunia is inviting you for an interview.
Yeah, I'd like to interview.
Okay.
All right. So your last question: what legacy would you want Quemsa Afrique to leave behind?
That's very interesting because it has actually taken me back to like the moment when I wanted to start Quemsa Afrique. At that time, quite honestly, I started it as a hobby, and I was concerned that what would be the long-term benefits of having something like this. I think the long-term benefits would be like just like in advanced countries where you have like big fashion brands and people who are like in art school tell you that when I'm done with art school, I want to really go and be a designer at this brand. I want to be a jewelry blacksmith for this brand. I really wish that in the future the legacy Quemsa Afrique would leave will be that people will be in school and they're like dreaming of like how they can infuse whatever arts and God-given skill that they have or art sense they have into growing Quemsa Afrique.
Yeah.
And then also that would be a legacy for someone to like sit and say, okay, I want to work at Quemsa Afrique one day. Just like the way we had like some Fortune 500 companies or like certain companies, even if they're not really Fortune 500, that you felt like you wanted to work there, not only because of the money that you earn from that, you're working there because of the environment, how people treat you. You work there because of the opportunity of growth that you feel like you are going to get and how that would impact your career moving forward. So I think that would be a legacy.
That's a very good one. Very good one. Yeah. So we have come to the end of the interview.
Okay.
I really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we have learned a lot. Yeah, you're very good at that. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.